Karuga. Qapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the get you away from me. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False word, important things are needed to be.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest. With a special pride never written before. Or sings tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello, world. It's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Open Lines Tuesday plus Call of Duty Warzone Tuesday for September 7th, 2021. If you'd like to join the panel, the link has been put out in the chat. I would like to welcome Super Blubberpuss, who was first in the chat. He says, "Hail, guys. Good to see you all. I hope Bird and Mop are doing well." Bird and Mop. We are doing well, Super Blubberpuss. Sassy just had her vet appointment. Sassy was so nervous despite taking double the dose that the vet recommended. She gave 1 dose, and she said if Sassy is still not asleep, give her the 2nd dose. So that's what we did. And Sassy was still so awake and so nervous that she still had a seizure when the vet was working on her. But luckily, she got through it quickly enough. And Sassy, she got her shots. She got her nails cut. She got her stool tested. And she's all is well that we know. We'll get the blood test results tomorrow. But so far, so good. And Sassy is out now. Now she is sleeping. But earlier, it was still so nervous. Poor girl. I was so sad. That was our biggest problem today, but it seems to be over. So thank you. Not Ryan Johnson says, "Hello in Qapla, hail Karuga." Hail, not Ryan Johnson. The Random Menace says, "Greetings from the future." Greetings, Random Menace. Not Ryan Johnson says, "Bird is either very early or extremely late. Take your pick." Well, I went on a half hour early today since the vet appointment ended, and really there was nothing else I had going on. I actually got most of Deep Space Nine already set up for tomorrow. We're going to start now tomorrow's episode of Deep Space Nine is the season finale of episode 5, which is the start of the Dominion War. And I've decided from here on out, we're going to be broadcasting the rest of Deep Space Nine in the screening room in HD, full 960p, which is the best HD you can get for DS9. It's going to be HD for all the rest of the episodes here on out, including tomorrow's episode. So yeah, that'll be nice. I mean, with the battles that are going to be coming up, Sacrifice of Angels and all those others, how can you really do them justice in 480p? We've got them in full, well, nearly full HD. It'll look beautiful. And for the next 2 seasons, we've earned it. We've earned it. So that starts tomorrow, which is by chance Star Trek Day. So those are the official Star Trek Day celebration from the Bird of Prey 5 channel. Mike Richards is just dropping by to leave a like. Have a good one. Take care, Mike Richards. And Super Blowerpuss says, give Sassy a kiss for me. Well, Mama Pray can. Sassy doesn't come that close to me these days. And Random Menace is 9.60p. 9.60p. If you say so. I'm not exactly sure what that fully means, but let me go ahead and pin the link to the panel in case anybody wants to come in at a later time. It has now been pinned. Good. So with that said, I guess I will go ahead and start playing a solo battle royale. Now, a mission for now is to complete 3 contracts, which is difficult. I don't have to do them all in one turn, obviously. Get 3 kills with an epic weapon. I need 1 more kill. Or kill 3 downed enemies, which is difficult to do in a 1-player game because most of the time enemies just die unless they have a self-revive. So usually you need to be playing a multiplayer duo, trio, or quad to kill a downed enemy. I just heard a noise, but I don't know what it was. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started here. If anybody wants to come in the backstage area, I should see it. I've got the screen up to the side. I'll keep an eye on it every so often. And thank you, #1 Sci-Fi, for following me on Twitch 3 hours ago. I appreciate it. I have followed you back if you happen to be watching. We are simulcasting today on YouTube, Twitch, and Odyssey. Hector says, hello world. Welcome, Hector. I felt like I was almost a real player earlier today playing this game. I was running around. I was killing people. Agnes says, today I'm being generous and deciding bird is very early. Well, yes, as I said, I did start early today. Hector. Sassy's vet appointment finished, and I didn't have much else left planned to do. So this is our practice round. I'm practicing with an M16, which is a new gun to me, and I probably not going to get a chance to get too many shots off. It is a tactical rifle, but it's a burst shot tactical rifle, which means it's almost a sniper rifle in terms of distance, but you've got to be really accurate with your shots. Like I should be shooting at the heads. Nice, 2 kills. Oh, we're out of time. I might have been able to get a 3rd kill had there been extra time there. This is honestly the first time using a tactical rifle in this game. Most of the tactical rifles only fire a single shot, but the burst of the M16 shooting 4 bullets at a time, I think 3 or 4, that helps. That helps balance it out. Okay, so we need to find some. There we go. We need to find some contracts. So I'd love to finish 3 contracts in this round. But realistically, if I can do 1 a round, that would be something. Shit. Fuck. God damn, did I pick the wrong one? How far is the distance? 185 kilometers. I need a good weapon. There we go. We got AK-47. That's a solid weapon. I don't know if I have enough bullets. This is not good. This is wide open here. But we can get through this. Nice. Okay, so we got 1 contract done. That's good. Heartbeat sensor. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's see. Scavenger. Okay. Scavenger. Gotta get to that next 60 meters. Oh shit, I ran through an explosive, I think. How did it not go off? Okay, now I gotta go back this way. Okay. We got to get to the 3rd one or it doesn't count. Shit. I really wish I had a scoped weapon right now. I've got damn, this one's up. This one's up. Okay, this building doesn't appear to have been nice. Okay. Oh, heavy sniper. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't do much for us. Somebody's here. I know what I can't do is wait for somebody to run at me. If I wait for him to run at me, I've already lost. I've got to be the aggressor. This game rewards being the aggressor. I don't know what to do. If I can get that most wanted contract. Where is it though? Got to be on the first floor. Where did it go? It's above me? Son of a bitch. Huh. I can't get it from here, can I? Okay. What I did was put some C4 at the top of the stairs, but I realized, okay, I'm going to put the C4 here. This way, whether somebody comes down the ladder or up the stairs, I can blow up that C4. Now, let's see. We are safe. So we got to just... I'm being tracked. Okay, I'm safe from this way. Nobody can come in this way. Oh shit, it's my doctor. Okay, guys, I gotta mute.
Yeah, And now Bird is muted, and I'm in the show. So greetings from the future to everybody in the chat. Looks like for the next minute or so, it's going to be my show without the game. Hope you are all doing well. Because Actor said here that we need Joseph to read the chat to Bert, since it's my specialty. Yeah, it's one of those things that I learned how to read like a few years ago, and still didn't forget it. Tell us a joke. I can't tell jokes because usually they take channels down, but what I can do is here and okay, Google, tell me a joke.
What happens when a frog gets a flat tire? He gets towed.
Was it any good? I hardly doubt it. Anyway. And Cardinal Student, welcome to the stream. Or something happening in my portion of the world. Honestly, I don't know what is happening in my portion of the world because I'm staying at home. On Sunday, so
Son of a bitch. Okay, so hey, Joseph, sorry
Hey,
about that.
no problem.
Thank you
No
for
problem.
coming in just when okay, so it wasn't my doctor, it was my doctor's assistant. She's putting in for an echocardiogram at home for me. And God damn it, what the fuck is
You know what it means? Shaving again.
I got this, son of a bitch. So yes, it does mean shaving again. Oh my God, I can't believe I got through that alive. Okay, so we got 2 contracts done. Wow. Who would have thought I could win while on the phone? I mean, like, this guy was just the biggest idiot. I mean, he was hiding behind his shield, but had he known that I had no hands free and was only trying to fight him with my thumb, I would have been a goner.
Mom left you.
Why doesn't that count as 2 contracts? What? I gotta find another contract. I'm sorry, Joseph. What were you?
That mom left you. She snuck out.
Yeah, she did. She did sneak out. So they're coming to do another echocardiogram on me, possibly sometime this week, otherwise next week, which is good, except they're also possibly this week, otherwise sometime next week is hopefully my hospital bed is coming.
Already?
So,
Nice.
That's going to be an all-day thing, and that's something that honestly, unfortunately, has to take priority over the echocardiogram. Shit. This contract is kind of far. Unless I can find a vehicle, there's no way I'm going to make it.
You have right now everything connected to your bed, like your desk and the second monitor, right? Everything.
Well,
is
it's not connected to the bed. It's on a table that goes over the bed.
Oh, it goes over. Okay.
So that we can wheel out of the way. Honestly, changing the bed. The only trouble is that it's such a heavy bed. The bed that's here is 680 pounds, and the bed that's coming is 900 pounds.
Will they wheel it up the ramp, or how
Yeah,
will they
yeah.
bring it in?
The
Yeah.
guy checked the ramp to make sure they could use it, and his whole job is installing these beds. So I I don't know. I'm hesitant, but he's the one who gave it the okay, so I trust them in that respect. I mean, if they fuck up my ramp, then they're going to buy me a new ramp, because I'll be honest, um, that'll be on them. Oh shit! Am I going to make this? I made it.
And what are
Holy
you?
shit!
What's going to happen to this bed that you are in right now?
This bed is probably going to be given to somebody who will ship it to somewhere it can be of use. We were going to keep it in the garage, but after the flooding, and the reality is we don't want to see it ruined completely while it still has some life left in it. We can, unfortunately, there's no places take it as a tax donation. We tried, but
and mom doesn't
Camille
want to keep
knows.
it for
Huh?
her. Well, mom doesn't want to keep it for her because it
Oh
could be
no,
no.
it's really not for her. It's
Just
and
asking because I'm not sure how comfortable it is. It must be
it,
somewhat comfortable since you are spending basically your days in the bed. So
it's I don't know how to explain it. It's not uncomfortable, but I'm sure there are far more comfortable beds for people who don't spend all their time in the bed.
I understand.
Let's back up there, and let's go ahead and get that.
I was just trying to tell when you came back that recently we have like a ton of work, and my wife got like pissed, and she was like, "Okay, enough is enough. I'm tired. Let's go somewhere." So on weekend she booked a trip to Cyprus. So we're going on Sunday to Cyprus for 1 week.
Congratulations.
Finally, some type of holidays. You know what? The funniest thing, many countries here are accepting if you are vaccinated, you can just go, like no problem. And here they are asking for a PCR test for everybody who is entering the island.
How does the floor support that? Asked MJ. MJ, surprisingly, right under where the bed is a cinder block wall that literally goes across the middle of the floor. That's where my garage is, in the basement. So it's actual, and then 90 degrees off that is a steel beam that runs the length of my house. Oh, Sassy's having trouble jumping off the bed. Okay, she got it.
But 900 pounds doesn't sound that horrible, and especially
it's not the end of the world. I mean, especially for something that's 6.5 feet long and like 4 feet wide, and has at least 6 points of contact.
is it like six wheels? 6 wheels?
Yeah.
So where's the problem?
Yeah,
It really
it's
shouldn't be.
I mean, it's just, then let's put it this way, it's 900 pounds plus the 250 of me on top. So like 1150, I guess. And
It's still something like 500 kilo complete total weight.
Let's put it this way, if I had a big fish tank, yeah, I'm sure it would weigh more.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And I think you said that your house is a brick house anyway, so it's not like
the outside walls are brick. I mean, inside, like I said, luckily inside underneath is cinder block on this particular one.
Yeah.
So even if it was an issue, had it just been wood, which I don't think it would be, it's definitely
shouldn't be because those beams usually have to hold way much more weight.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, but even if it was, like I said, it happens to be the cinder block wall. So
yeah,
I don't even have, I'm not in the slightest concerned. Qapla, Professor. Qapla, Jedi Bill. Qapla, Super Blubberpuss. Qapla, Rock Solid. I'm sorry, I know I missed some people.
And hi, Jedi Bill. I see. And there's a hello for me. So, and hello everybody else who joined the stream. Professor Dave. Yeah.
So that game, I did get 2 successfully completed contracts. Unfortunately, en route to the 3rd, I got hit by a sniper.
And Roxoid is asking, where are the dear Bobs?
That was yesterday, Rock Solid. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. And now I know you think that because Monday was a holiday this week, it shouldn't have counted, but it did.
And Cinnabon. Hi, Cinnabon.
Hey, Cinnabon.
And hello, Professor, and as well, Dave. And both of you said hello to me earlier today in Captain Trek's stream, but unfortunately I was otherwise occupied. I couldn't type. So at least right now I can say hello back for both of those streams, Captain Trek and this one. After 10 p.m., so I'm treating myself with a good rum that I just bought. They finally delivered it. I was waiting like 3 weeks. I literally wrote them. They didn't have it on stock, so I was like, okay, where's my delivery?
A new
They
drum?
said, rum.
Ah. Yar, matey, I guess.
Yar. Yeah, and my last email was like, guys, I will die with a healthy liver if you don't deliver.
Not on our watch.
Actually, I went to a different store and I bought it over there. So, and they delivered within like, I ordered on Saturday and they delivered today.
Let's see. Let's see what happens if we try our cheap move of trying to kill people who don't.
And Cinnabon says, what's here? The communication?
No.
Rock Solid is calling you out like bullshit.
Oh, we got Professor Brainy Specs.
Yay.
Welcome, Professor.
Greetings and Qapla, Bird of Prey.
Qapla. My phone's ringing. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Who? No, I think you got the wrong number. I think so. Nobody by that name here. No, this is New York. No problem.
This is New York.
They thought they were calling Canada. They're like, I'm calling Canada, right? I was like, Joe, it's New York. Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry. She seemed like a nice enough person.
Okay, Bird. We
She
need.
probably was
I'm sorry.
Canadian. I'm sorry. What's up?
We need to get Cinnabon some medical assistance.
Oh no, what's wrong with Cinnabon?
Specifically
True.
psychiatric assistance.
True
He's
or
been brain.
false? TOS is the discovery of the 60s. I heard him say that last night, and I fear he's gotten. You know how a lot of diseases go between bats and humans? I
I've
fear
heard
he's
that.
got a disease that goes between bunnies and humans.
Oh, I told him he's having an allergic reaction to all the hair from the bunnies.
It could be.
His brain is just not functioning.
His
right.
brain is gone. Oh, Cinnabon. What are we gonna do with you?
But he has somebody who agrees with him in the chat, and that's obviously
Oh.
rock solid, Gary.
Well, we know that Rock Solid has some issues as well.
Rock Solid's not the.
Yep, and
Best
we
critic.
know it manifested in half of his face not working. Okay, and now they are patting them on their shoulders here in the chat.
Yeah, Cinnabon
Each other,
says,
yeah.
finally, someone with some sense at Rock Solid Productions. Cinnabon, you are putting words in my mouth that I never said.
What didn't you say?
He's claiming that I said TOS was more like Picard.
Wow, you said TOS is more like Picard?
No, I said this is what I said. Okay, that TOS is magnificent, and Picard is closer to TOS than Discovery is, but they're miles apart. Actually, light years apart.
Light years, huh?
Mm-hmm. As in, TOS is far superior
Son
to
of a
Picard.
bitch.
They are all in denial.
And Rock Solid says, Cinnabon, TOS isn't even as good as Picard, not even close.
And Itza is here. Hi, Itza.
Yitza.
Star Trek, yes, Yitza. Cinnabon is claiming that we are all in denial.
Yeah, I see that in many Facebook chats under very suspicious articles. When I say that the people are reading BS and they tell me that I'm in denial. Yeah.
Well,
and very stalking.
I've never been to the Nile, so I don't know how I can be in the denial. In the Nile.
I was just telling Mamo Pray that the last phone call was a wrong number.
Cinnabon wants us to embrace Gene's vision.
I will. Bring Ensign Rand around. I'll embrace his vision.
I was on the Nile. I'm in the river.
No, I've
Egypt.
never been in
the Nile. Is not just a river in Egypt.
But I was in Egypt.
So Star Trek Day tomorrow. There's rumors they're going to release a Strange New Worlds trailer.
Would be nice at least
Be nice to have something, right?
to have something, yeah. Because actually, it's the most anticipated Star Trek show out of them all.
Honestly, I think that's fair to say. It really is. And whether that's good or bad or whatever,
Well,
I
there's
certainly looking forward more to that than I did Lower Decks.
I'll agree with that. I'm looking forward to
I still didn't watch the
Strange New
last
Worlds.
episode.
Of Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think you're missing much, but some people do.
I
Some
like
people
it.
think
I
it's the
like it.
best.
It's funny. I take it for what it is, and I really enjoy the episodes. I'm not saying it's something that I go back all the time to, but definitely I don't mind having it like on. And recently, since Erica is not a big Star Trek fan, I was like, okay, let's watch Picard. So we started watching Picard. We are like 2 episodes in, and you know what? This is actually the thing that the hardcore Trekkies don't like necessarily the new shows, but from her reactions, it's like she is enjoying it for what it is. Without having like all the background to everything. At least she knows the main cast. She knows the main characters, who they are. But definitely she was like, who are the Romulans? She asked me, and this is one of the questions that really was answered only in the comic books, nowhere else. You know, why are the Romulans with Picard on the farm in the first 2
Right.
episodes? Yeah, and literally without a comic book, you wouldn't know it, because I don't think it was ever explained in the show. I don't remember it because I watched it only once, and then now the rewatch the first 2 episodes. But otherwise, I don't think it was ever explained.
Because they're slaves. Captain Picard saved their lives, so they owe him their lives. And he said, "You will work on my vineyard till the days you die."
Anita said it was explained. You should rewatch it, so you know. I will rewatch it with my wife. And Roxel, it says, I've never rewatched an episode of Lower Standards. One and done. It's terrible, utter garbage, worse than Discovery.
I'll disagree with that.
Wow.
I'll disagree with that. Discovery is just abuses and misuses the term Star Trek. It's far worse than any other show with a Star Trek name attached to it.
One thing that
I'm sorry.
Go.
And this is from somebody that does not like Lower Decks.
Yeah, I know that you don't like it. You know what? What I realized is actually that with every Star Trek show until Enterprise, we basically got always something new and only certain references to the previous shows, and not so many. Even in Voyager, that was the last one of the 3 from the 24th century. We had basically the connection in Caretaker, the first episode, And then in False Prophets, there was a connection to the 24th century, to other shows, and then only later on, when the show was already very well established, we got the Barclay episodes on Voyager. But it was only here and there, and a few of them, and on Discovery, we were heavily relying on all the previous shows, and on Picard, I'm not, and Picard obviously, because they gave us basically how many? At
10.
least we had at least 4 characters, 10 episodes, but 4 characters that were tied to previous shows. Yeah, Picard, Riker, Troy, and 7 of 9 as basically either very prominent guest stars or main cast.
And you can also include Data in that.
And Data, obviously, and we are getting even more. And the sci-fi inventions in the shows are relatively poor. You know, the new things that they are coming with. Basically, even Discovery came only with some magic, with what is it called, the material that can shape into anything you want. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't try to even remember. I don't care about it.
So I did watch Life with Matthew's pub this morning.
Me as
when
well.
I woke up. So I got what he was saying.
In terms of the movies, you mean?
With his, yeah, like in terms of the movies. I mean, I don't agree with it. Don't get me wrong, but I understood at least what he was saying.
You understand how Star Trek V is somehow a better film than Star Trek IV?
No.
Well, that's what he said.
Respect, I don't, but no, that was just crazy.
You know what? When the thing is, I would like to come sometime on the panel when Matthew is doing his pub, but unfortunately, it really is at
the middle of the night.
Middle of the night. Basically, last time it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when he had something like a longer show, and I woke up like earlier than usually, and I caught like the last 10 minutes of the show, you know. So it is literally extremely late for me. So not going to happen. Me being on the pub.
He goes on like at 4 a.m. for your time.
Yeah, something like that. And when he has when he has a show like that goes like 2.5 hours, sometimes I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and the show is still on. So I just check the notifications on the phone, and I'm basically half asleep because honestly, if the dogs don't wake me up, I don't have to get out of the bed before 8:30.
Wow.
Just to put it into perspective. That's why I can stay up like longer. Like till
Arabic Sonder, thank you so much for your $1 super chat.
And programmable matter. Yeah, thank you very much, Arabic. Yeah, programmable matter. So that's why I can stay like till midnight, 1 a.m. or something, but usually, yeah. I leave earlier even these streams because I'm getting really tired, and especially if I have like long days. and staring at the screen all the time. Even right now, I'm basically rather staring at walls and looking around the house, and so that I don't look at the screens, because it's more than enough during the day. But anyway, when we were talking about the movies, when there was they were talking about the movies and how they like the order. Funny enough, it is like everybody is putting 5 on the bottom of the list, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if 5 should be on the bottom of the list because of certain elements, and this is the friendship of the crew, and this is I think this is the movie where they bond the most, and from all the movies, and it is really about their friendship and about the relationship between the main characters, and I mean like everybody. Yeah, because when you just go back to a movie like Search for Spock, Uhura is there basically for what? 5 minutes?
Yeah, she wasn't in the movie very much.
She wasn't there much, so she was literally removed from everything that was happening in the movie. She was really only in the opening, and then in the one scene where she fixed basically made the transporters available for the guys. Yeah, that was her only scene in the movie. Which in 5, okay, some of the scenes she had were cringy, but honestly,
I didn't mind.
I didn't mind the dance scene either. You know, everybody's making fun of it because she was, I don't know, in her I don't know 50s or when it was filmed. But her legs looked gorgeous.
You know, and it doesn't matter. These were desperate men on a planet. You know, they were literally like dying of thirst and whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that they could find any woman, you know, that probably would have been.
That didn't have
for
a tail
them.
like the Cajun one. Yeah.
The thing I don't like about 5 as far as Uhura goes is the relationship with Scotty. That
Well,
came
that's
out
what I
of
was
left
going to say.
field.
That I didn't mind.
And the question is, was there something? I know it was hinted that they were friendly with each other, but what was it? Was it really like they were in a relationship? It never felt like it to me. It was like they are good friends, and it is obvious that they are good friends because they are working together like for ages.
I thought they were certainly portraying it to be a little bit more than a friendship.
And
I got that vibe as well.
And even if, where's the problem?
That's what I'm saying. I don't see one.
Where's the problem?
I could see that there'd be a relationship there. They worked together a long time. They're close to each other. You know, I'm not saying they're going to run off and get married, but
there was no hint of that before.
Well,
you know what?
Yeah, but
at least
times change.
But at least there are years between the movies, you know, and gazillion of things that we.
I'm sorry.
And gazillion things that we didn't see. Okay, because 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I get it. This is a trilogy, and this is basically one movie after another. But the 5th one could be easily XYZ years after the 3 movies.
I don't think it is.
The only problem with that is that they make it seem like it takes place right after, because the Enterprise it was still new, and you know they're like, you know, it hasn't been.
The new Enterprise wasn't commissioned.
Well,
the problem was at the end of 4. At the end of 4, the Enterprise they get in is working perfectly.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So.
But at the beginning of 5, yes, because at the end of 4, I just saw it this morning.
Oh, they are getting at the end
It-
the Enterprise. Yeah,
and
you're
he says,
right.
my
The
friends were
relay.
home. They sit at the bridge and they says, let's see what she's got. They leave space dock
You're right.
and they
You're right.
warp
You're
out.
correct.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
is
like
it
they forgot the last 60 seconds of the movie and then
Is it-
restart.
is it really? Maybe it broke down shortly after that.
It is possible. It could
Well,
be,
you know-
let's see what she's got. They warp, and then 10 seconds later, after the credits end, the ship stalls. It's got to be towed back to space dock. And
Well, I say that because at the beginning of 5, Scotty has a line, something to the effect, Captain says, let's see what she's got. Well, we saw what she's got, and then
yeah,
we see
well,
the
okay.
mess.
That's true then. So
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. What is rather disappointing that they if you see there's some type of relationship that it didn't carry over into the next movie. You know, into Undiscovered Country.
yeah, it's
6,
true.
6, I think, has some time in between.
There was definitely time between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they went out of their way to forget 5 ever existed. I mean,
pretty
with
much.
6,
Yeah.
remember at the end of 5, again, for 5 you have to go on the fact that it was all a dream. So if you go on the dream, then Ahura and Scotty having a relationship is fine. But if it's not a dream, then it makes no sense, because at the end of 5, the Klingons and them were getting along, and then at 6 they hate each other again. I mean,
Cinnabon shows the lasting effects of the Great Whale probe. Yeah.
at the end of 5, Sulu and Chekhov were following around the Klingon woman, admiring her looks.
Yeah.
And in 6, they were like, oh my God, these people are so disgusting. They make me sick. That's clearly, completely different state of mind.
Yeah,
when it came to the
definitely.
Klingon.
They are trying to in 6, but it's actually understandable, because 5 was basically a it was a disaster, financial disaster. It still made the money back, but it wasn't as successful as any of the previous movies, and especially after 4, 5 was basically a disappointment.
The amount of money it makes shouldn't determine whether it's canon or not.
Oh, I agree with that.
But it was self-concealed story, as not concealed. How do you say it?
Well, and then you got the problem of how did they get to the center of the galaxy in a day or whatever,
The
however
movie had
long it was.
multiple mistakes, and this was one of those, like center of the galaxy, where basically a Voyager has to travel through quadrants for 70 years. There's a wormhole, another 70 years away from Bajor into the
that's
gamma
why
quadrant.
I like I really like the dream.
Like the idea that it was just a dream.
Although Salty Trucker had a good point, in the animated series, they went to the center of the galaxy then too.
Well, I don't consider the animated series canon, so. And I know there's TOS episodes where they went to beyond the edge of the galaxy. I don't consider that canon either.
Well, there's a simple solution to that. You don't go straight out through the disk of the galaxy. You go perpendicular.
I know.
Up or down, basically.
But even then, it still doesn't.
I mean, it's not that far, really. You're only talking maybe 1,000 light years, maybe several hundred.
It says that it's a science fantasy more than science fiction.
You got 3 kills.
Science fiction, definitely. I can tell only. I can say only so much that that the shows, the previous shows, are more science fiction than the new ones, and especially on Discovery, I really hated the time crystals.
Hello, Super Blubberpuss.
As the explanation.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, hello, Super Blubberpuss. Jesus, your name is complicated.
I have to speak up. I was attending the Star Trek conventions during the period of while they were making 3, 4, and 5. And 5, I can tell you, all it was a total ego fest. William Shatner wanted equal pay for what Nimoy was paid for Star Trek 4. He had a Me Too clause. They both got $6 million each. He's not a good writer. Everybody could dance around on it, different excuses on why 5 is good or why 5 is bad. But Star Trek, I mean, William Shatner is writer. He is, I'd say, mediocre, but definitely he was not capable of directing a project of that scope. So if you watch 5, you'll see flaws in both the writing and also the execution of the motion picture. That's why there's no way that Star Trek the motion picture could possibly be worse. It was at least professionally done by Robert Wise, a professional, capable director and editor. Even the editor worked on Citizen Kane.
One thing that goes against Star Trek 5 is the budget that Shatner was given, because Wise was given a way bigger budget, and especially in '78 money than Shatner was ever given for his movie. Which is understandable because Nick Myers showed them in Star Trek 2 that you can make a successful Star Trek movie on a way smaller budget. So this is why probably they were able to make the movies. And when you say, you just mentioned the name of the producer.
Harv Bennett?
Harv Bennett. Yeah, Harv Bennett basically left before after 5, so 6 was made without Harv Bennett. When you think about it, but it was made with Nick Myers, and I know that him and Roddenberry had basically scream fests. They were basically hating each other, hating each other's guts because of Star Trek 6.
Yes, that is true. Roddenberry didn't like the military style of it.
Yeah, which Myers actually already included in the second movie, in Wrath of Khan.
Now, you guys realize that Gene Roddenberry in his later years was having trouble with Alzheimer's, right?
I hadn't heard that.
That I don't know. I definitely know that he
I saw him I saw him twice on stage. He was losing his hearing and unfortunately his mental capabilities, because towards the end, Majel Barrett was having to do all the interpreting and translating for him.
Really? Was it so bad?
Alzheimer's.
What's that? I'm sorry. What's that?
I didn't hear that it was Alzheimer's that he was suffering from.
I know that he had like heart failures, and basically he died then of a heart failure.
Oh, he did overall, but his mind was slowly slipping because, okay, you know how the fans at conventions can act? They can ask really dumb, specific questions that nobody's going to answer. But people were asking Gene questions that he had been asked over and over the years. He couldn't remember the answers, and Majel Barrett was having to remind him. So, for example, he wasn't advanced as like Joe Biden, but you could tell he was losing it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's one of those things. Okay, if you saw him really live on stage, you can tell. But this is something that I never found in any of the like documentaries that were made. Doesn't matter if they were like positive about.
they kept that very close to the chest. They didn't really
which is understandable. Which is understandable, and honestly, you can never put a sickness against somebody. That's definitely.
I can tell you, Major Barrett was very nice. She was very open. I remember during the production of Star Trek IV, she was back. She would always get in the back of the room during the conventions, and she would always show her 16mm reels of the Star Trek bloopers. So every time you went to a Star Trek convention, you know you would see the reels. This is before they were sold on VHS. So one time she showed her bloopers, and we all watched the bloopers, and I was looking that she always wore the same sweater, a yellow and blue striped sweater. I don't know why, but I remember she showed at one particular convention, it was right before Star Trek IV, when they were still filming it. She was explaining the scene in Starfleet headquarters where there was a storm outside the window and that glass exploded. And she was explaining how they had to reshoot the scene because originally it was a very spectacular explosion, but the camera didn't catch it right. They had to shoot it a second time, which is the one we see in the movie, but she was saying that that one is very lackluster compared to the original explosion. But my point is that after she showed the bloopers, I walked back and I said, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" And she goes, "Oh, of course, honey, anytime." I said, "I just have one question. Is Eddie Murphy going to be in Star Trek 4 or not?" And she says, she started laughing and she says, "No, they decided not to." And I said, "Thank you." That was right at the point where Paramount, he was trying to strong arm his way into Star Trek. And everybody was like saying, "Oh, no."
Stories, yeah.
Right. Fortunately, they offered him the Golden Child instead. So whatever it took to get him off of Star Trek, because he was actually he wanted himself written in as a reporter in Star Trek 4.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was an odd tale I wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah. I know that Eddie Murphy was supposed to be there instead of the Dr. Gillian. Gillian was her name.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that he was supposed to be there, but then it didn't work out, and yeah, because he was otherwise occupied. It's basically a very similar story.
No, it was not occupied. He fought arm and tooth. It was Nimoy that kept him out. If Eddie Murphy would have had his way, he would have been in the movie. And by the way, the character he was going to play was basically the same thing as Eugene Levy played in Splash. So basically, it was just the same character, the reporter following him around, saying that I know what you're doing. So for many, many reasons, we were all spared. But I guarantee you, Eddie Murphy was pushing it. It was not Eddie Murphy who decided he was suddenly too busy and he couldn't, and he pulled out. No, that wasn't it at all. He was very adamant on being in Star Trek. Nimoy fought against it because he was directing. And then finally, Paramount offered Eddie Murphy the Golden Child instead. Leonard Nimoy did everything I just said. Leonard Nimoy described up on stage during the production of Star Trek 4.
Okay, so Nimoy didn't want to have him. Okay, interesting.
Right, because at that point, everybody started asking, "Okay, we've heard rumors. You know, what's going on?" This is before the internet, so we had heard rumors. So what's going on? I went to a convention with Leonard Nimoy, and people were asking, "What's going on? Is he really going to be in it or not?" And then finally, he said, "No, he's not going to be in it. He really wanted to." He said, but he had met with Paramount. And that was one thing that him and Roddenberry both agreed on. They did not want him in the movie. But he was very, very, very close to being in it.
From what I've read, Roddenberry passed because of a series of strokes.
Correct. That is what was on his death certificate, correct.
I can't find any indication that Alzheimer's played into it.
Right, and you also won't find any indication of him losing his hearing either.
Well, hearing loss is a common trait of somebody that's aging.
Well, it is, but usually you'll hear about it when it comes to a celebrity, and we all heard about Huey Lewis losing his hearing, right? Nobody called him on it. I mean, it was okay. Like I said, Major Barrett was standing next to him doing all the interpreting. People were asking questions, and then she would bend over and kind of tell him in his ear what people were saying. Then him and her would discuss, and she would kind of remind him, and then she would answer to the audience.
I just don't know about the Alzheimer's.
Well, I could be wrong about the Alzheimer's, but I will say he seemed very forgetful about certain things that he had been. Because I've been to several conventions over the years. What's that?
Strokes will do that too.
Possibly. Do you have strokes or do you have heart attacks?
Welcome
Sorry
back.
about that. I got another call from the wheelchair people this time.
Oh, wheelchair people.
Yes, that's good. They're
good news.
Well, they're gonna send somebody to the house to go with the next step. They just have to make sure. I'm sure insurance. They'll take my insurance, but if they don't take my insurance, it'll be $75. So. Whatever.
What will be $75? The wheelchair or the visit?
No, the visit. The visit for a physical therapist. Now, I don't understand why I already had an occupational therapist come and seemingly do what this person's going to do, but this one is being sent by the wheelchair company instead of my doctors. To be honest, this is the kind of nonsense that you just put up with. Like, okay, whatever. Hopefully it doesn't cost anything. But if it does turn out to be $75, it's not worth complaining about. That was just calling to to send the info to this place, and then that place will contact me with a time and a date. So in the last few hours, I was going to hear from the bed place, the wheelchair place, and the echocardiogram place. And I suspect...
Don't you have the feeling that the whole world is basically turning around you?
Well, I suspect they're all going to want to come on the same day.
Well, get it all done at the same time. There you go.
Unfortunately, I can't. The wheelchair, those all going to have to be different days.
Yeah, because you have to stream as well, obviously. Because if you don't stream, there will be like many.
Well, I don't know about having to stream, but
of course, it's your duty to the world.
Oh, I should have taken.
And now you're slacking on Thursdays, you know.
I know. It's not slacking on Thursdays.
Wait a minute. He's releasing a video.
I'm releasing a video on Thursday.
Yeah, okay, but.
And I'll be honest, nobody watched this last one.
I watched it.
I watched it.
Not enough. Watch it 2 or 3 more times.
Okay, if you wish.
Watch it again and again, damn you.
I can do that, really, not a problem. I can actually watch it right now. Take care, bye.
Take care, Random Menace. Take care of my future while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Which video did you put out on Thursday, Bird? Was that the one for Lower Decks or what?
Yeah, Lower Decks.
Oh, well, I watched it.
This last one, I didn't have my beautiful face on, so I guess it got lower.
You didn't.
Yeah, that's why. You know, sex sells. So next time put your face up.
Yeah.
Right. You want more ratings?
That would have been a positive, but you know.
Yeah. You want more ratings? We need to see skin.
No, I'm not doing like LDG and pretending to be a girl.
Oh Jesus, that was creepy.
Well, he did that today. He did it last night.
It was very creepy.
So I looked it up. The galactic disk is about 1,000 light years in thickness, and the sun is not dead center between the two edges. So you're looking at maybe 300-400 light years. That's not unreasonable.
In Star Trek terms, you mean?
Yeah, to reach the galactic barrier.
Why would there be a planet outside the galaxy? And why would anybody have been
Why
exploring
not? This is like why not? There are probably more rogue planets in the interstellar space than planets in solar systems around different stars. So it's not like unheard of.
And there are stars outside of the galaxy, not in other galaxies. It's just that they're much further.
Yeah, much further apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, what do I do here? Oh, goddamn. You got
I don't know
me.
what you are doing there. I'm trying to.
I got 6 kills, though, before I died. Oh, wow.
And remember, one of the 2 instances of that, the Kelvins had super sized or souped up the warp engines so they could get there quicker.
The Kelvins?
Yeah, from the episode By Any Other Name. They were from the Andromeda Galaxy, and they had to get back to Andromeda, and they took over the Enterprise to do it.
I was thinking Kelvin universe.
Oh, sorry.
Timeline. I was like, what? Because they did have souped up warp engines on the Kelvin version of the Enterprise. If by souped up, you meant blubberous.
Well, they modified the warp engines so that they could travel quicker.
I'm just trying to put together a Rubik's Cube. I never managed it ever in my life before, and now I decided that this time I will do that.
Put it together or solve it?
Solve it. And this is my biggest problem is with spatial orientation. I said it on a different stream that I was probably the first person in the whole country.
You can get a 2x2 Rubik's Cube. It's a lot easier.
But I have a 3x3 that I need to put together because I decided that I have to do that. And the problem is that I was probably the first person in the whole country who got a commercially available GPS system just because I get lost everywhere, and they want me to do some orientation in a 3D space with a Rubik's Cube. It just sucks. I'm able to put together like one side, but it doesn't help me at all.
I haven't played with the Rubik's Cube in forever.
You know what we had? It was like usually we are going every year to a different country here within Europe for a week of like product presentation, like what's like strictly hush hush NDA stuff, what's going to be on the market like next year, and so on. And last year, obviously because of the virus situation, we had it virtual. So what they did, they sent us something like a care package, and they sent us like a bunch of actually good stuff like air cushion for your chair, of some massage stuff, and a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, so otherwise I wouldn't buy a Rubik's Cube for myself, just because I know how frustrating it is to build it, to solve it. So yeah, so I had it in my hands and I played with it a little bit during a call, and then I realized, I messed it up. So yeah, Now I'm trying to put it together, and like for 3 days right now, and it's basically only getting worse and worse.
I think the best I ever did with a Rubik's Cube was to get 2 sides solved.
Okay, now I need to beat Jeff.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
PCAT.
Go.
PCAT. In the original series with the original effects, I believe they did reuse the barrier effects from where No Man Has Gone Before and by any other name. I don't know about the remastered version, if it was identical. My guess is they used other effects, a different angle or something in the 2 episodes, so they look different.
TOS?
In the remastered TOS.
Yeah, the TOS remastered, they not only replaced like some of the VFX shots, they literally sometimes replaced with VFX different shots. Sometimes, like, you know, like one second here, 1 second there.
Sure,
but,
sure.
But
what I was getting at, though, is they didn't use the same remastered effect in both episodes. I bet they both had unique versions.
Yeah, most probably. I don't remember.
Qapla, Birthday 5. Hail, Kuroga.
Hey, Tim.
Oh, welcome, Tim.
I hate your avatar.
I know. That's why I love it. That's why I love it.
We were watching with my neighbor on weekend on Saturday while Bird was streaming Roger Rabbit. We were watching Star Wars, and he was like, "Okay, let's watch all the Star Wars movies. Let's start with the Phantom Menace." And I was like, "Ah." So we were watching the Phantom Menace. Yeah. Right now it looks almost like my nickname. Yeah.
Oh, I love the lightsaber duel, or not? It wasn't a duel, I guess.
Oh, the Duel of the Faith.
The
Qui-Gon Jinn. And
Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
When you slow it down, you can tell they're not actually trying to hit each other, which is kind of annoying. But I mean, when it's sped up and done,
you know what? It looks fantastic
good
on screen. Yeah. It looks fantastic. We
were
watching it because the thing is that it's a friend of mine for many years, and he bought literally the house next to ours. It used to be the house that belonged to my wife's grandparents, and he remodeled it, and and there were as well, like garages, because they used to have at some point of time they used to have a tractor. So there were like 3 garages. He tore one down, and 2 of them are still there. And one of the garages he basically renamed. It's not like there is nothing done. It's basically, it looks horrible inside. There's mess there and whatever. But he renamed it to a clubhouse. So we are meeting there. We have the regular meetings when he is at home because he's working abroad. So when he's home, we are there. We are in our man cave in the clubhouse, and he cleaned up the wall. And I have a projector, so we are watching like movies and everything. And basically this Sunday not, because he was already traveling, but usually we are watching as well the Twilight Zone on a projector, on a big screen. And the fun part is that what was the episode recently that we were watching where with was it this week or last? No, it was last week. When the astronauts came to the asteroid that was preserving all the moments in time, that one. and where everybody was basically like standing still, and like basically all the actors were slightly moving, and that they were not like perfectly still, and it was so visible on a big screen. It was visible on a monitor, but it was as well visible on a big screen. But when you realize that when it originally aired, how the TV quality was, the picture, the size of the TVs, that it looked probably more than presentable at the time.
Right.
Because I don't know what it was, if it was like 1960, 1961. I don't know when the episodes aired. I think some.
Welcome, Tim. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Guys, I had to help in Mamo Pray with dinner order.
Oh, what are you going to
have? Bruschetta and a pasta dish from a local pizzeria.
Cool.
Pasta alla fresco.
So, Brainy, I watched your little debate with the salt mine. And I thought that was quite entertaining. I was actually agreeing with you in chat there, because I didn't read into that episode as much as others had.
Yeah, I saw you in the chat agreeing.
Yeah.
And the Twilight Zone episode was Elegy. It was episode 20. Aired in 1960. But I did see you agreeing with me, Tim.
What were you discussing? What episode?
Oh, what was the name of it again? I'm stuck with
Who
names.
Watches the Watchers?
Who Watches the Watchers? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I could see their points too, but I mean, honestly, I think it really comes down to the interpretation lies with the person interpreting it, So maybe they're right in seeing that. Maybe you're right in seeing what you're seeing. I don't think either of you guys are really wrong, but I honestly agree with you more, because I don't think they meant to, completely trash all religions over this one thing, just, in this instance. But, it is what it is.
I'd like to hear Bird's opinion on that.
Who Watches the Watchers? It was totally anti-religion.
Really? Okay, you agree with?
I mean, I don't particularly care. It's okay that Picard feels that way. Picard is not written like that all the time, but in that episode, he's totally written as a hardcore atheist.
Yeah, I mean, he never really touch on his, spiritual background. Anyways, I mean,
well, no, they're like in the episode with Q, where he dies, and Q says, "I'm God." It's like, you're not God.
Yeah.
He doesn't say there is no God. He says you're not God. And there's some others where they ask somebody, I think Worf or somebody asks him what they think happens when he dies, and he goes into he's not sure. So like I said, in other episodes, he's not written as a stone cold atheist, but in that particular episode, I think he was written that way. Now, I understand there's a difference between a fake being against a completely fake religion and one that might be true, but
well, see, that's where that episode was going. The Mintakans had that belief, that religion, and gave it up. And now, because of what Beverly Crusher did, and then one of them saw Picard, and another one got healed, suddenly they think Picard's the overseer. They bring back their religion, and he's trying to restore where they were. And that's all I saw there. And I think the dialogue, if you look at it in its entirety, backs that up.
But It is slightly anti-religion, religious because he as well says that they shouldn't basically Picard says that they are enlightened now and they don't that they don't need a religion, you know.
Well, what he's saying is the mythology. They didn't have the mythology anymore.
Yeah.
But that was all, if you look at the context, in relation to the overseer that they are now thinking is back or was in fact real.
If you take it as it is, but once again, don't forget that Star Trek is about allegories as well, and this was and I think this was an allegory, like anti-religious allegory or anti-religious in those at least in a way where science is above religion, you know, which I don't mind that aspect because myself being an atheist, you know, it's I didn't mind it, but I completely understand where, for example, Michael is standing about what's Michael's standpoint about it, him being a strongly religious person, you know. So this is really on many cases open to interpretation. I didn't mind the episode. I actually like the episode. You know.
Well, and it also touches on the fact that, you know, if let's say Picard had religion, you know, like let's say he was Christian, you know, he's not God, and then he has to try and can still convince these people that he's not a god, because trying to impersonate a deity is against a Christian religion too. So I mean, you know,
and that's exactly what the scientist was asking him to do, was to masquerade as this overseer.
Yeah, and that goes that not only does that go against the Prime Directive, but it just goes against any kind of morality. Honestly, I would think it would, anyways. I wouldn't want to be posing as someone's god. I mean, just look how well that worked out for C-3PO and Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah. Basically, you know what? I never thought about it in the intentions of is it religious or anti-religious. It was for me. It was always rather about the Arthur C. Clarke quote about technology so advanced that it looks like miracles, you know, or magic.
Like magic.
Yeah. So it was rather that one to me than anything religious, more or less religious. But this is, on the other hand, this is the beauty of not only Star Trek but generally art, whatever, that you can basically find there something for yourself. And
and you know, I like it reminds me of another scene from another show, Babylon 5, where this human explorer or a surveyor was talking to Jakar, and she asked him what she saw out in this sector space, and he looked at this flower and picks up an ant. He's like, "What is this?" He's like, "That's an ant." Well, I just put this ant back down. Now, if this ant got picked up by this great force and it got returned and said, "What was that?" Well, they wouldn't know. Some mysteries are just left mysteries and should be left alone. You know, in this case, you know, an ant is not going to perceive a person as a person. It may perceive it as some great force that you're not, that it can't identify, which is what the Mintakans see the Federation as, some great force or you know, deities that they couldn't grasp. And it still comes out of that, you know, they're just men with better technology. You know, it's not fair for them to think of them as gods when they're not. And it's, you know,
and that's exactly what I saw in dialogue.
Yeah, that's how I took
this episode.
You know, and as a Christian, I took it that way. So it's like I never really saw anything too, you know, I didn't see anything that tried to stop my religion. In all honesty, that's just.
I have a question. Doesn't the philosophy pretty much change from episode to episode based on who wrote it?
It probably does.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This you have these inconsistencies about many aspects. It's not only about religion. You could go when you look at whatever science they did or science fiction they did, whatever you basically had different characters, different traits of different characters based on what is required.
And they had Michael
Burnham.
It reminds me of like the Star Trek conventions where the geeks would get together and they would ask, well, why did Kirk do this in one episode and not in the other? And they would spend hours and hours debating it. And I kept saying, look, it depends on whoever wrote the episode. The actor themselves is not going to remember from one episode to the next.
Yeah. And that's the beauty.
That's the funniest part when they are asking the actors at the conventions about specific episodes, and I don't know how they saw it in the context. And the problem is that maybe many of the actors even didn't watch all the episodes because they were just in it because it's a job for them.
Yeah.
Yes, they would ask some very, very embarrassing questions.
And that's okay. That's the beauty. One of the beauties of Babylon 5. The show creator wrote about 70% of the episodes. Mm-hmm. So it had a very consistent feel. He in fact wrote the majority, if not all, of like seasons 3 and 4.
Straczynski was a writer in his own right too. I mean, a comic book writer. So he was, we wanted to be involved in the writing as much as possible. Because it was really his story. Love that show. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I can't wait till Life with Matthew starts showing them. Whenever that'll happen, 2032 or something.
I would be. Yeah. Wait, is he still on season 1 of Sequest?
No, he's approaching the end of season 2.
Oh my God! Really? Finally, I finished the whole season. I finished the whole series within the first, well, for him showing the first season. So,
I think
how many seasons are there of that show?
2.5.
2.5.
About
2.5. Well, 3.
Sequest.
Yeah,
Sequest. Yeah,
3.
It had 2 full seasons, and then the third season was like 12 episodes or something.
It fell off. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, I love Michael Ironsides, but I didn't think he was a good fit for the show. I really
Michael Ironside is in it.
Yeah, in the last season, he takes over
in season 3. Yeah.
Oh, that I'd watch. I didn't like the first 2 seasons, but I'd watch that one.
It wasn't as good, to be honest.
Sorry, I wasn't here the last minute and a half. Are you talking about Sequest?
Yeah, we shifted gears to Sequest.
Oh, you switched to Sequest.
I think Matthew has about 2 or 3 episodes remaining of season 2.
See, I like season 1, especially when they had like Bob Ballard do a little like info thing.
Oh yes, like at the end of the episode,
educational bit there. That was always cool.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Then he stopped it. Then they stopped doing that. And then I was like, oh.
Well, they had the actors trying to do something similar in season 2. I don't remember season 3 if they continued it, but
no, I think it just stopped because they tried making it more of a. I want to say it was more like a military show after that.
Isn't the third season when they went like to the future, like distant future, for some reason?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one at all because I used to watch it when it was on TV. In the
they jumped like 13 years into the future or something.
Oh, it wasn't even that
like huge jump. Bear. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think the sequence was in a cornfield or something.
That I don't even remember. I just don't remember season 3.
Yeah, if they were changing the show that dramatically, it sounds like they were probably desperate. The ratings were probably sinking at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did pretty
you
much
guys do realize
Discovery.
You guys do realize those Sequest is pretty much Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and Flipper, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. All rolled into one.
So not Ryan Johnson says, every time I look away from the screen and look back, bird gets killed. So stop looking away from the screen.
or stop turning back to see the screen.
Yeah. Maybe you're looking back at the screen is killing him.
Don't look.
Don't die, Bird of Prey 5. Don't die.
Don't you dare to die on me. Not like that.
Actually, I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but in the last
Cinnabon is
game,
never trolling.
I did get a contract out, which was a pretty big deal. A contraband out, which means I've got some good stuff, like a gun or something waiting for me. I can use now. I've never done that before. I don't know where to even look for it, but it just barely made it.
Cinnabon the Troller. That's what I'm going to call him from now on.
Cinnabon has definitely come into contact with some kind of brain slug.
I think he's trolling.
It's not rabies, it's rabbits.
Maybe he's got what Kronos got.
Where is Kronos? I didn't see Kronos for some time.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a few days.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him either.
Maybe he has a
LD.
City Alpha 5.
LTG says Matrix 4 full trailer confirmed this Thursday, says LDG.
I don't think I'm going to care.
That's something I'm interested in.
Yeah. I'm interested too.
I mean, I'll watch it, but the trailer, but I mean, unless it comes out free on HBO or something. I think it is supposed to, right? Because if it's not, I'm not watching it.
I'd rather go to the theater and watch it.
Yeah, depending on how good it is.
Now, I realize you can't do that, Bird.
Come on!
Bird, you got to start using the Shatner fighting style.
I died. I wasn't even killed. I just died because I was outside the imaginary line of the map.
We can't drop in the wrong spot.
Don't forget, guys, Matrix 4, the director was gender swapped.
Weren't both the brothers gender swapped?
Yes. Yes, they are sister Wachowski
by their
now.
own choice. I mean, how much more?
No, they were forced.
They were forced. Somebody thought they'd be better looking.
I think that's where LDG is getting his idea.
That's got to be
swapping.
why LDG is such a fan of the gender swap.
I choked through watching this video.
Another Ryan Johnson. See, I looked away again and he died.
Stop doing that, not Ryan Johnson.
And Kitty Bear says, my body is rejecting all the milk I drank. Now I'm running up and down the toilet every 5-10 minutes and I'm tired because that's more exercise than I normally get. You know what? Just move there. Take your phone or notebook
stay
with
on
you
the toilet.
and stay there. Yeah, exactly. That's like...
Stay on the toilet?
Yes. Stay on the toilet. Works for Elvis.
Maybe Kitty Bear wants the exercise.
You think I'm not prepared for
Maybe
this
he's
shit?
only got a one.
You are
toilet in the
prepared
house,
for everything. Yeah,
and there's other people need to use it.
The good thing is in our house here we have like 3 toilets and it's only the 2 of us. And actually, when I count the litter boxes, it's like 6.
And my grandparents, they had 2, but one was a tiny little in the basement, which you really didn't want to use. The only real one was up on the 2nd floor and had no air conditioning. So on a hot summer's day, you didn't want to spend more time in there than you absolutely had to.
Well, that's annoying. That's supposed to be my McCoy tab, not my Hatsune Miku tab. Just gotta fix that.
What's going on?
I have the wrong GIF on there.
And Kitty Bear says, I have no mobile phone. I can watch my monitor from the toilet, but not reach the keyboard. You should get a wireless keyboard in that case.
Oh, I shot that guy in the ass.
Yay. Ouch.
That's
a real
Ryan
pain
Johnson,
in the ass.
I would tend to agree with you.
I painted a house once for a friend. It was a rental they were fixing up. And the prior people had moved out. They had punched a hole in the bathroom wall so they could see through to the living room television.
Yeah. When I was doing my house in 2005, I was really, really close to putting a television behind a piece of plexiglass in front of the toilet.
Were you afraid of splatter for the toilet or for the TV?
Why plexiglass? Yeah, I just wanted to ask.
Well, because my shower is really close.
Steam,
by.
right? The steam will destroy electronics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I used to put radios in my bathroom. Then I found out that's why they also tell people not to take your phones into the bathroom because of the steam.
True.
Phones are water resistant right now.
That's also true.
I have a Bluetooth speaker in the shower. So basically, I turn on the Bluetooth speaker, put the phone on the sink or somewhere on a shelf, and I can listen to whatever is on YouTube or Netflix or whatever.
It may be waterproof.
A radio meant for the bathroom.
It's just like when you think about it, how crazy dependent we are on electronics. It's just crazy. And how convenient it is, like, just when you go back something like 10, 15 years, let's say, like Bluetooth speakers, there were far and few on the market. Basically, you could get something like basic Bluetooth headphones at the time, and now, and when the first speakers came onto the market, they were so expensive. And right now, basically, it costs you nothing.
Well, we should beware of the monsters who are due on Maple Street.
That was a good episode. That was a good episode. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you guys were saying the bunker is better. I agree, the bunker's a good episode, but the bunker doesn't have Claude Akins. So sorry, for me, that's the deciding factor.
The shelter.
Right, the shelter. That's it. It's a great episode, but it doesn't have Claude Akins. So I have to side with Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
I think the shelter is actually a better episode, but
it is, but it would be better if it had Claude Akins in it. Sorry, I could watch anything with him in it.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Very versatile.
Capitalism.
Yeah, he's a great dramatic actor, and he also does comedy. He was fantastic.
I watched about 80% of Friday Night Tights. I did not come across it yet, LDG, but I think I would have heard it had I heard it. So I'm guessing it's towards the end.
I don't watch Friday Night Tights anymore. I only watch Friday Night Frolics.
I don't like the really big channels.
I don't feel like I'm channels.
I just don't feel a part of those big channels.
The same here. When I heard Gary calling Ryan my baby boy Ryan, I decided I'm out of there.
No, I don't watch it because it's all basically just negativity and mockery and no. I
piling on, right? It's piling on. Like, what are we gonna pile on today, right?
No, I just cut the lines. I unsubscribed from all those channels, and I was like, no, thank you.
If Comics Division brought up LDG, and then the first video people tuned into was LDG pretending to be a woman, that's probably why he didn't get many subscribers. And now Comics Division is going to get kicked off Friday Night Tights.
Wait, seriously, or are you just?
No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say, like, wait a minute, hold on a second. It's funny.
And that's interesting. Kitty Bear says here, Bird of Prey 5. I can clearly see your nuts.
I don't know what that I'm crazy.
That would be you are. It's specifically written your nuts. Are you doing somewhere else a private stream like on OnlyFans that we don't know?
Not if only if I don't know about it.
You don't have a hidden camera down your pants anywhere.
I will tell you a secret. Not. He's not wearing pants.
He probably isn't.
I'm not.
Told you.
I'm wearing a hospital gown as pants.
And he says you missed the joke. There's a line before that. Okay. The line before that is, you know what my psychiatrist said when I walked into her room naked? I can see your nuts. Okay. Sorry, Kitty Bear.
There.
Sorry. I'm trying to.
Second.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid screens.
Shit.
Somebody must have an access to Bird's OnlyFans.
JP's. I just got to get away from whoever's shooting at me, JP's.
Where do you see JP's?
He's in the back.
Oh.
He's in the backstage.
So,
hello, JP's.
Hello.
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 So nice to have 3 days off in a row.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
This is my 4th.
As of Sunday, I will have 1 week off. Yay. In Cyprus.
Cool.
Yes, cool. Actually hot, I hope it's going to be. It should be.
Yeah.
Like summer temperatures and everything, yeah. I really need to get off work and don't but the good thing is that I managed to basically everything that I was dragging behind me or pushing in front of me in terms of work. I managed to finish everything as of today. So there is like no negative surprises after.
Bird, you didn't survive
after I come back.
No, I didn't. Sometimes I do. I'm about 30 to 40% on Gulag.
I've been seeing you've been getting better too.
I was getting better until they switched it up for season 5.
Yeah.
And this season it's a lot harder. I had a strategy for last season. It seemed to work well. This season, not so much.
And another Ryan Johnson says, and now I close my eyes and he's been killed. And Kitty Bear says here, I wish you could join people in matches without being in their party and fight them with another team or alone.
Yeah, that would be great.
I wish the damn loading time wasn't so, like...
That would be great, too.
it makes me angrier. You get into the game, bam, you're dead. You gotta wait another 2 minutes.
We just need, instead of a round that ends constantly, just a constant world that the map doesn't get smaller, that you can constantly come in and out of. This way, if you die, you can be respawned into a different part of the world without having to wait, 5 minutes for another game to start.
Yeah, completely. But that's like normal Call of Duty. That is not free.
Another Ryan Johnson says, I think Bird's odds of getting killed in the game increase dramatically when his character is wearing a hat.
No, I'll tell you, when I didn't have the hat on, I was getting killed far more. And you're like, how could you be killed more than you are now? Trust me.
And Ervik is asking a good question. Which TNG movie do you think it's the worst? And according Ervik, it's Insurrection.
Insurrection, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty much universal.
I can't say it's Insurrection simply because it's my mother's favorite TNG movie, and yeah, because Picard has a romance there, and she likes romantic movies and everything, so she really liked that part. But you know what? Right now, when we are talking about Insurrection, when there was this question of track with the Star Trek movies, and Bert, sorry, but not knowing who directed the 2nd and the 6th movie, being Nicholas Myers, or not knowing the guy, the name of the boy who played basically Artem, the character. When you think about it, all the names that they basically chose there for the movie were just randomized letters in basically common names, like Joseph, and the guy was called Sojev. You had an Angie there, Anish. You had Artem, which is basically Martin. And Baku being the capital city of Jesus, which country? Oh, not Belarus. Okay, Google. Belarus. Bullshit. What I wanted to ask. Okay, Google. Baku is the capital city of Azerbaijan. Thank you. Okay. Shut up. Azerbaijan. So Baku is the capital city of Azerbaijan. You know, so basically they just took all the naming in that movie from like real world. And the fun part is that when you look at the credits of the movie, the actor who played Artem, the little boy, is the only one who has like from next to the main cast is the only one who has his name and the name of the character he played in the end credits. And what I have to say, after First Contact, I liked the score of Insurrection. Really, I really like the score. It had a beautiful main theme for the movie.
Well, at least I know. I agree with what you said about the names, but at least it wasn't as bad as, at least they didn't let their little kids name everything like George Lucas did, right? I mean, that's how we got Count Dooku and Jar Jar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, from the TNG movies, I would say the weakest one was Generations. Was the weakest
I like
one.
Generations.
I liked it. You know what? This is exactly when if like going back to the discussion. Which one was the weakest one? The motion picture or Star Trek 5? You know, which one was Final Frontier? Which one was the weaker one? Because usually they end up at the end of everybody's list. I have to say that the first one is definitely a snooze fest compared to all the other ones. But when you it is
I don't think so.
Because there are so many long scenes with
well, there are, but I mean,
exactly, and that's my problem. That's my problem because for example, once again, the Jerry Goldsmith score with the even with the what is it called? Not prelude. What is it called? From the opening with Alias
yeah, I know what
team.
you're talking about.
Then and when we are calling when we're talking about Space Dock, the music score there is so beautiful that you could watch the ship porn for 10 more minutes easily without getting bored, just because of the beautiful soundtrack and the visuals and everything. But it is but when you think about it, it is unnecessary. The same with the scenes when Enterprise is flying basically through Voyager, through the cloud, where you don't recognize anything.
Yeah,
it's just
shapes. It's just shapes.
It's basically just shapes and fog and whatever. But once again, it's with beautiful score. The visuals are perfect, and you know what? The story basically, when you cut it down to what it actually was, a simple episode, and when you cut all that visual ballast, and I put visual ballast into quotes out, and you get the story. It is a way better story than we got in 5. But 5 once again got a very beautiful story about how the main cast was basically their friendship, their relationship, how they worked together, how they fought against each other when some of them were influenced by Cyborg and some of them were not. So those stories, both of them, have something appealing there. So I'm not sure. Definitely, both of the movies belong to the end of the list of the 6 movies, but it is literally like selecting the weakest one out of really interesting and good movies.
So the difference, the obvious difference between 1 and 5 is definitely visuals.
And thank you, Arabic.
Because and one thing, the biggest problem that Star Trek the Motion Picture had is at the time it was being made, they were looking at doing a series, not a movie.
And
then what happened when Star Wars was such a big hit?
They basically switched to a movie.
Yeah. So all these sets and everything that they were doing for their new series, they decided to shift it all to the movie. But they wanted to still, I guess they still wanted to utilize, like to show everybody what this new ship can do, and you get to see that. I honestly, it's probably one of the most technical Star Trek movies ever.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, because
and
you
basically
get to see the airlocks work. You get to see the engine, how the engines work, how the engineering room, everything detailed.
Basically, when you think about it, even from visual perspective, the legacy carried over to TNG. With basically, they just took the corridors they had, because when you look at the corridors they used in the motion picture, they used the same sets on TNG. They just repainted it to beige.
Yeah, well,
from gray to beige.
Some of the corridors, not all of them, but some.
But basically, I mean, just the legacy that the design is there, the warp core is there, So and basically. The motion picture showed the future for like the engineering room, for the, because you had Kirk on the is it a lift?
Between levels.
I'll tell you what I loved about
between
that.
levels that you had on TNG. It's basically the same sets. They basically reused the sets.
What I loved about that engineering set is that it actually was 3 levels. Like you could look down, the one level down, and there was one level up, and the rest was whatever special effect they used to show that it went down further.
Yeah,
and that's still a badass engineering set.
Yeah. You know what? And that's one of the reasons, for example, that I know that many people were bitching about it, but on Discovery, when they showed the ship, the Section 31 ship. They had even the bridge like on two levels. It had like something like catwalk railings and everything there, and it was like even the bridge was on 2 levels, and it was like something that we already know from other Star Treks. Okay, it was engineering, not necessarily the bridge, but as a design, I think being in space, it's pretty dangerous, but it could be but it's basically a pretty dangerous thing, having something like this even on a boat, like a normal on the sea, when there's like a storm or big waves, you could easily fall over, so having something on a spaceship, not unheard of when people saw it on Discovery. And I know that there were some people saying like, how could they have something like two-story bridge or whatever. We have big engineering rooms. We had the same thing then taken over to Voyager. So literally the first movie, the TMP, in terms of visuals, gave us so many new things that were used and are used until today, basically.
Well, at least you could also say that you could see the money spent right there on screen. So
yes. The money was well spent there. Yeah.
Well, that's the travesty of 5 is like I get William Shatner directed it and he wanted to take this.
Wrote and directed.
What?
He wrote and directed 5.
Yeah. Wrote and directed it. Yeah. But a lot of the slapstick humor in it was out of place. The worst thing about, I think, the movie was the special effects. It had some of the worst. It actually was kind of funny. It actually had a couple shots that were really intriguing, but then it had a lot of shots that were just.
Why? Because the intriguing shots were reused or unused material that ILM produced, and for 5 they were not able to use ILM. Because I don't know if it was because of money or ILM was working on something completely different.
Actually, at the time. The one shot I'm thinking of was right when the bird of prey uncloaks and it jumps to Uhura, calling out its position. When it uncloaks, it does like this rapid close up, right up to the nose of the bird of prey, and I thought that was actually cool. Like that thing's like coming at you. And
I don't remember that one shot, but you can easily watch it. Yeah. So this is one of the things, and but you have the same problem with the TNG movies. Basically, you had ILM working on 6 and on 7 and on 8, but on Insurrection they didn't use ILM, and you could see it. You could definitely see it because the Insurrection was the first one where they completely relied on digital models, and in some shots the Enterprise itself, it's not completely rendered.
No, honestly, I never noticed that.
You never notice it. You don't notice it necessarily because it's like within literally a few frames. I saw it on some YouTube review of the movie, where somebody, I'm not sure if it wasn't Trek Yards even, who pointed it out that the ship wasn't rendered completely in some shots. And I mean the flagship, the Enterprise, wasn't completely rendered in some shots, which is a little bit weird. But
so the ship was CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had the model of the Enterprise E for the beauty shots of in First Contact, and First Contact was the last movie where they used the physical model. They probably and for the rest of the movies they used only CG generated ships. And even in First Contact, when you look at the when they are using the escape pods, those are CGI. And for example, the Borg cube was a physical model, but the Borg sphere was completely CGI. But it was done by ILM at the time, so you see that the professionals were really at work. But on Insurrection, you could definitely see that there were other companies used, because I think ILM wasn't able to do it because they were working on I think the Phantom Menace or another Star Wars movie. But I think it was Phantom Menace '98.
I think I've heard that before. Yeah, I think you're right, Joseph.
And they used a different company, and you can clearly see that the CGI effects are subpar, and especially on the Baku planet when the drones fly in, when they are tagging the Baku and the crew of the Enterprise, that looked really, really not good.
Well, by that point, Star Trek was just a production line. They weren't really even it came down to the scripts and the plot. It was just a production line at that point.
But you know what?
Didn't the budgets get gradually smaller and smaller as well?
Not necessary. Not necessary, because
I never noticed these so-called poor special effects.
But when you go to the movie, when you go to the movie and watch, and don't watch it on your and don't put it on your screen or on your TV, put it on your monitor, because the monitor is bigger and it's closer to you. And
I'm
when you
sure
look at
they're there. I'm just saying that if it's not pointed out to me, I don't notice.
I saw the movie in theaters and in a theater, and I can tell you it was immediately, and I was like, okay, this is not ILM. And when we are talking about the late 90s, ILM was the king of the special effects, you know. And basically with ILM, you have not that many companies that can until today who can beat them in their expertise, because Weta Studios that made Lord of the Rings, you have. And there is one German company that started very small with Iron Man 2. I keep forgetting their name. They are really good and they are big in the business. But you have few really good houses, and then you have a ton of smaller companies that are working on CGI effects.
According to Memory Alpha, for Star Trek Insurrection, it says, with ILM busy with work on Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Frakes and Company turned to a new visual effects house for the first time since Star Trek V. Splitting the workload, Blue Sky VIFX and Santa Barbara Studios were hired to contribute the almost entirely digital visual effects.
Yeah, they used the physical model of the Enterprise only in, I think, 1 or 2 shots, but all the battle scenes were digital.
Some of the traditional physical model photography limited to the explosion of the Sona's collector ship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they built a Sona collector ship, and you know what? When you go to the
apparently they did,
and when you go back to the scenes, actually the scenes look unfinished because everything is a blue screen. Everything is on the Sona, not the Sona ship. I mean the collector. Well, when you go to the scenes, it really looked unfinished because they everywhere used like blue background. It literally looked like blue screen. Just when you think about it.
Well, can I ask a question? The TNG, the series, could you guys tell visually by looking that the effects were done on video?
What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
The effects for the original TNG, all the effects, ship, everything out in space, the ships, the battles, everything was shot on video. The interior shots and everything else was shot on film. Could anybody tell other than me is what I'm wondering.
I guess not.
I don't know if that's true.
No, they had physical models, and that's why they were using so many stock footage because Ion created.
I heard it was on film. That's why it was relatively easy to put to.
They redid all the effects for the Blu-ray.
That's what I said. That's all the effects. I heard they had to redo all the effects because the originals were on video. Is that wrong?
No. They what they redid for the Blu-ray release is some of the, let's say, firing sequences like photon torpedoes and everything.
Cell phone.
But all the other effects like the ships and everything, those were physical models. That's why for example, it seems like the Excelsior or the Excelsior type of ships were used for over 100 years because they used every single model they had on basically in crates from the movies. They created like ton of stock footage, and basically when you are watching TNG, for the first 2 or 3 seasons, you have most of the exterior shots of the Enterprise. I think until like definitely for seasons 1 and season 2, they were using extremely often the same exterior shots, like flybys and everything.
Right.
And there are documentaries on YouTube you can watch. Literally, you can watch how ILM basically created those effects for the pilot, and then they created like literally stock footage for them to use for some episodes, and they and basically and it was an interesting fact that I didn't know. I learned it only recently. That, for example, on Deep Space Nine, every single shot of the Deep Space Nine station was a physical model, except one single shot used in the whole series that was completely digital, and that was the final shot of DS9 when they are zooming out where Kira and Jake Sisko are standing in the window, and they are completely zooming out of the station. That was the only digital shot of Deep Space Nine used in the whole series.
Wow.
I learned that only recently, like maybe last month or so, by watching some documentary once again.
How about the episode where they shot the guy's head and it exploded?
Look who's in the chat! Kronos is in the chat.
Kronos.
We were just talking about you probably an hour ago or 30 minutes. Qapla, Joseph O'Prey, and Did he get a procedure? What a procedure. and hey Bert.
I don't know, but I could have sworn I heard Anti-Tracker say earlier he was transitioning.
The Salty Trekker is transitioning?
Salty Trekker, yes.
He's probably just seeing what LDG is doing and just mimicking.
Is he going from salt to pepper? To pepper Trekker?
Pepper Trekker is his wife.
That would be quite a transition. Not just in gender, but
you also have got a bird
tone.
procedure. Okay, bird procedure, because I'm talking so much. Sorry.
No.
I'm really sorry for talking so much.
Don't be.
We have somebody trying to connect with the username nearly LDG, but their device is not connected. And I gotta say, this worries me that A, they're not LDG.
I think it's LDG.
B, that they are LDG.
Which one is worse?
Oh.
Yes.
If it's LDG as a woman, okay. Hello, nearly LDG.
And here is LDG.
I had my camera
Hi, LD.
on for some reason.
Are you on the toilet?
Yeah.
What's with that background? Where the hell are you?
That's why I thought he was on a toilet.
Patio.
Looks like he's stuck in the
nice,
bathroom.
beautiful view.
Where is he?
My patio.
Your patio?
Yeah, it's my laptop.
Like you live in Florida or something? You have a patio?
Yeah, exactly. You had a patio.
Good for you. It's nice to see you outside of your cave.
Well, now that I have now that I got my laptops working.
That patio would make a nice greenhouse too.
You gotta put the laptop on a tube and you put it in the pool.
Is there a swimming pool I see there?
Yeah.
You should be laying in the pool. Doing your work from the pool.
Now I envy you, LD. You have a pool. A big pool.
Designed it myself.
Pool.
You should be having a pool party.
Well,
And
when
you
you
should
guys
be
come
filming
over
that.
when you guys come for Comic-Con next year, I'll throw a party at the house.
You should have the YouTube Nerdgasm pool party.
And for the first time I see you smoking.
I've got a list of women you can hire to come to parties that'll dance with you.
No, thank you. Mine dance.
They'll swim in their pool.
Appreciate it.
This is the most civil, like civil in terms of like outside of your normal LDG surrounding that I saw you. You know, like.
Well, if you come hang out backstage, you would have seen this like a few weeks ago.
I hang out backstage. I never seen it.
You leave. Your bedtime's too early. You leave when I freaking. What are you talking about? You saw my patio like the other day.
LD is literally almost midnight here.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so.
Hey, I ain't blaming your son.
Yeah.
Someone's cutting the yard. I can finally see again now.
And I envy your temperatures that you have there over in Florida.
I'm sweating right now. It's so freaking hot. F this.
I would definitely welcome
I
it.
gladly switch places with Bird in a heartbeat, or even someone from Canada.
No, you wouldn't want to.
Oh yeah, I would.
I'd love to live in Canada.
Lower in the cold.
Switch geographic places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you want to spend time in the hospital bed.
Well, that too. I'm sure it's comfy. Nah, I want to get out of the heat. Too hot down here. Too humid.
Yeah, that's what air conditioning is for.
And it's also expensive as shit.
That's not that bad.
$500 electric bill, not that bad. Yeah,
That's not what it is.
I got a $500 electric bill, and it's not nearly as hot out.
$500 electric bill. It's for me about a half a year. I know that electricity in the United States is like crazy expensive. That I know.
My electric's actually more expensive in the winter, and I live in the South.
I think I pay like $105
heating?
a month.
Yep. And I have air conditioning.
Are you heating with air conditioning as well? Are you using it for?
It's an all-in-one unit, heating electric unit.
No, because I have like floor heating and it's gas.
Yeah, I don't have
gas is cheaper.
And gas is definitely cheaper than electricity, and with floor heating, it's despite having like over 1 mile of tubes in the house, it's literally not that much water that needs to be heated. So it's not even that expensive to have like floor heating.
But my electric bill in the winter is probably about, I'd say, 70% more than it is in the summer.
Didn't your whole grid almost collapse
last year?
Well, yeah, during that snow
winter?
and ice. Yeah, the snow and ice storm. Yeah.
But I think you mentioned that you live close to a hospital. Was it you?
Yeah, I never lost electricity.
So that you never lost electricity? Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I was even thinking about having not solar, but what is it called?
Geothermal?
No, not geothermal. Geothermal is one of the solutions that I could get. No, you have the not solar collectors on the roof, but they are called. So basically, not for heating the water, but creating electricity. What is it called?
Solar panels?
Yeah, that's what the solar panels do.
It's but there are like two types. One is only for like heating the water or preheating the water in winter, and then there is the another technology that basically creates electricity. But if it's solar, let's call it solar. I was thinking about that one, but when I did the calculation for return on investment on it, it's not worth it, at least here where I live.
Yeah, I can't imagine. It's really not worth a lot of places without government subsidies.
And even the government does certain subsidies, but when you think about it, that I have we are plus minus, but geographically like the same latitude. Is it latitude?
Latitude.
Yeah, it's how many sunny days you get throughout the year, so that you can produce enough either electricity or hot water, and compared to the gas prices. And once again, Slovakia as a country is one of the transit countries for the gas and oil coming from Russia. So we have. I'm not saying that we have it cheap, but it's definitely cheaper than you have those things in many places within the United States. Because literally for gas, I'm paying monthly something like. My wife would know better because she's the one who's paying it, but it's definitely sub 100 a month. and it balances out perfectly throughout the year. So wintertime, summertime. So the temperatures, because obviously we are using more gas for heating during the winter time.
You have an
It
economy
balances.
set up.
It balances out perfectly.
Billing. You have an economy billing set up because that's what I can do. I can basically what they do is they average my entire bill, all my bills for the year, and they give me one flat rate.
Yeah, this is what we have. This is what we have, and what we can do if we know that we are going to use I don't know, more gas or more electricity, we can just basically see it's literally one phone call, and we just increase the monthly rate that we are paying up basically upfront. Yeah, and then it balances perfectly out throughout the year.
Yeah.
So. And not to forget we live in a six bedroom house or 5-bedroom house. Sorry.
I live in a 3-bedroom trailer home, and I only pay I think about $105 a month.
Mm-hmm.
If even that.
I want to live in a trailer.
It's square meters to square feet. I keep always forgetting the square calculation. It always throws me off. M2 to FT2.
Pi's R square.
Okay, and this is.
I thought pies are round.
200. I have almost 3,000 square feet. So it's
Wow,
not that.
that's
It's
nice.
not that bad. It's not that
Mr.
bad.
Fancy pants.
3,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty big.
I'm not complaining. Okay, I'm complaining when I need to vacuum it, but otherwise, not a problem. And this is without
More
the
cats for
garage.
Yosef.
Garage is separate. Yeah, so
That's when you get a Roomba.
Oh, we have one. Trust me, with 4 cats and 2 dogs, one Roomba is not enough. We are actually thinking about purchasing second one. And the funny thing is, when you look at the prices of the Roombas, or even the like competitive brands that are out there, and some of them are even better in certain parameters than the Roomba, they literally drop the prices by almost 50% in the last year and a half. So literally models that were like 1,200 are now 600, 700. And those are like the fancy top models with dust collecting bins that like the self-cleaning ones and those fancy ones, So the basic models from Roomba, like the good brands, they dropped like significantly in the last 12 months.
How well do they work with dog poop?
Dog poop, trust me, dog poop. I don't have expertise with dog poop, but actually, what happened today was cat poop, like a small, tiny bit. The cat, as the cat was, in the litter box, they are always trying to basically cover it up. And one of my cats is covering it up with extreme force. So a tiny piece of poop went out of the litter box, and my wife, without checking whatsoever, just threw an app on her phone. She turned on the Roomba. And I can tell you, it creates beautiful patterns on the floor. Fortunately, I saw it after basically because it goes from wall to wall, after probably like two runs across and it was the floor. It was the in the entrance where one of the litter boxes is, in one of the floors.
Meanie.
I can tell you, we had to stop it, turn it over, clean it. Yeah. It leaves nice patterns on the floor. That's the funniest thing. LD, are you sleeping?
Bird? Kronos wants to know why Yosef looks like Garfield.
Why Yosef looks like Garfield?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it because it's Garfield, and Garfield is basically covering up Bird of Prey's artwork that he did for me.
What's funny
I didn't realize he got pushed so far up.
What should be is you should put Brady specs in.
You could flip the two of us, so Garfield is in the star field.
Yeah, exactly. So Garfield's floating in
could
space.
do that.
There it is.
There we go.
There we go.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. JPs, you are showing the only good scene from Picard, like the best scene from Picard.
Okay. It was at the garage door.
Yeah. The one good scene that immediately got destroyed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There, I turned off my name and avatar.
This is going to be my last round, guys. Because dinner has arrived.
And it's officially DS9 Wednesday here where I am, so...
Yeah, so put on the episode already.
The episode will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
22 hours.
Steaks for dinner?
No, Italian.
Which Italian?
Is Bird having
plenty of Italian?
Pizza.
Oh, that's
pizzeria.
Pizza.
Kronos is definitely not cat chocolate. Trust me. It's not cat chocolate.
So, Bird, is the food as good as homemade?
Pretty good, yeah. So before we all go, let's give everybody a chance to say something. LDG, let's start with you.
Don't wake him up.
He moved. I saw it.
LD, you are muted.
LDG, can you hear us?
Yeah, he is trying to hit the unmute
that
button.
whole time I was freaking muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I'd take a little breather nap during Bird stream, so I recharge the batteries. You can catch me on Biggerford Entertainment, Chaos Central tonight on the Chaos list. I have a very special announcement for our Chris Knight, so check that out. And if you haven't seen our morning daily, check that out. I'll be doing another one tomorrow morning at about 11 a.m. Hope you guys are enjoying the morning daily. I wanted to thank Mrs. LD Shee for filling in on me yesterday. She did a wonderful job, and if you guys like her, please leave comments below.
She filled in on you. Do I want to ask that question?
She was filled in for me, not filled in me.
By you.
On you?
Well, she could be filled in by me, but that's up to her. I mean, I'm not going to start a sexual harassment case here or anything. Anyhow.
And the weirdness starts.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Like one morning, I'm thinking that Tim might be doing the morning daily.
What did I do?
We'll see. We'll see. Anywho. Yeah, that's what
my
you guys.
My work
Thanks,
schedule.
Bird.
Take care.
Are you cutting it short today?
Actually, no. He's running for 2.5 hours.
And I started a half hour early, so no.
All right.
JP's, anything you'd like to say?
There's a lot I'd like to say, but I can't get it out my mouth.
Nah.
That's what she said.
Well, sometimes you guys can find me on Twitch, I think it is, streaming games. But that's usually not when everybody's awake. It's in the middle of the goddamn night, so I don't make such an ass of myself.
And who are you on Twitch?
I think under JP's Tabernacle, but with a K at the end.
Are you at your computer so you could put the link into the chat?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so much like work.
Okay, so don't
That's
do
gonna
it.
do so much freaking work, man. Coming from a guy who has no content on his channel, trying to tell us to do work.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'll find
Well,
it.
he has no offensive content. So.
Unless no content is offensive. Now, for God's sakes, Tim's got more content on his channel. And he plays with dolls. I mean, models.
I play with dolls, too. Shut up.
TMI, Tim.
Did I hit a nerve there, Cucamonga?
Having a Spaceballs moment there.
Okay, go back to the channel.
Knock next time. Knock.
Wrong goddamn thing. Here we
Do
go.
you see anything? No, sir.
And yes,
I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
There we go. There's my link.
You see, this is how you do it. This is how we do it.
No.
Okay. Tim.
Hey. How are you?
What do you got going on?
I've got nothing. I got to go back to work tonight to do inventory, which is annoying because I just came from work.
Tim, go make me a sandwich.
I don't want to make you a sandwich. I don't want to make me a sandwich right now. But I'm looking for a model maybe to buy. So maybe I'll build it on a stream. But I don't know. Got to find something. And right now, Bandai models are very slim pickings right now. Even at the stores that actually have stock.
Order it straight from the factory.
Can't. They sell to vendors.
Well, get a vendor license.
Yeah, right.
Buy enough.
Like right now, the way it's working right now, even Bluefin is like one of the biggest distributors of Bandai products right now, and they're shortchanging Gundam models out to like brick and mortar stores right now. So like the store that I have here in town that actually used to get loads of models in, they haven't been able to get anything. They've been getting sidelined for other stores that make bigger orders. So,
Okay, Tim, do you have any YouTube related info?
Not really.
Well,
I'm not good at that. I just relegate that to LEG.
okay. Super Blubberpuss.
Just saying, I stopped by to say hello and busy you guys for a little while. I don't have a lot planned as far as YouTube. I mostly work during the week, so I'm gonna try to check out your next stream there, Bird.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Professor.
Yes, sir.
What do you have going on?
Well, this Saturday we're going to have episode 2 of season 3 of A Question of Trek. Hope you can be there. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Would love to have you on, watching the show with us. And we should also have a History with R&R live stream coming up this coming Monday, next Monday.
Without me?
Without you. You won't be on it, but we will have a special guest. And if I'm correct, this special guest is from A Question of Trek. So check it out.
Interesting. Very cool. The Random Menace.
Yes, as always, my streams are private and offline, and I will do the stream probably in a few minutes. So please don't join.
That's no fun. That's no fun.
Private and offline. All right. I'm going to join that right away.
Okay, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun today. Tomorrow, Deep Space Nine Wednesday. Call to Arms, the final episode of season 5, and will be the first of the next 2 seasons, which will be in all HD broadcast in the streaming room. So I will see
which is
you
great.
guys
Kronos,
there.
no, I don't have streams. All my streams are private and offline, and usually end up in a porcelain bowl. So yeah, that's the
Qapla,
stream.
all bird and panel. But wait, there is more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdopray5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Bird O' Prey 5 needs. At the main Bird O' Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Bird O' Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Bird O' Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Karoga.